to make these videos short because of the problem of the network so that we don't have a distortion consistently. Now, as I was telling you, um, the the Fulanization program is taking another dimension. You can see the drama from the National Assembly. Um, they're all playing the same script. They're all doing the same thing. Now, I want to tell Biafrans, you have to be consistent in what you're doing, and you have to understand that no game, everything you see happening in Nigeria is not coincidental. They are all planned, they are all part of the program. When you see the National Assembly coming out to tell you Buhari must go, it is part of the program, it is part of the plan. Now remember that the person who is called Buhari is actually a mask wearer. So now that the tenure is ending, what do you expect? There must be some kind of strategy. There must be some kind of way to try to get rid of the person. They are giving you clues that it is very easy for the president to be attacked. They can as well tell you that the president is attacked or has been attacked. We saw that the National Guard, the people who are supposed to be guarding the president, those ones who always move with him in convoy and all of that, you saw that some of them were killed recently, beginning of this week. They were killed. So, what do you think is the template? The Fulanization program has taken another level of operation. The same plan, but the another level of the strategy. This is what we must understand. So when you begin to frame as if you don't know what is happening, more dramas will be coming. You have to understand this. I was telling you about the terrorist man, Maliru Audu, who was caught, one of the terrorist man who is in Katsina State, or is it Katsina or Zamfara, and who is granting interview to BBC, telling BBC that they don't know about protests. The only way they know how to protest is by guns, by using the guns and using guns and all of that. That's how they know how to protest. They don't know how to protest any other way, but by guns. They don't know how to talk to media. The only way they come to the media is for them to just come and show what they have done, or to give their news and their terror address. That's what they come to the media to do. They don't have anything to do with you, to come and dialogue with you. Now, you have to understand something. You have to understand something, especially those ones who are one Nigerianists, those ones whose life, umbilical cord, was part of the amalgamation program. Those ones who now think that unless we continue staying together as a people, we actually are doing something wrong. It is very critical to see and to know that it is unfortunate that some people have decided to sell their souls and allow the devil to overwhelm them. I was looking at Twitter. I'm always very active on Twitter, and I've been seeing several posts. Somebody was trying to one Uche something, Uche, somebody who is supposed to be a Biafra. Maybe he's using them in disguise anyway, but the name definitely Uche something. The two names, the surname and his name, are Biafran names, and he was defending the fact that there were Biafra, names of some Fulanese and people from the north included, put under the states from the south, as representatives or representation, or those who they are bringing into the recruitment system in their armed forces and all of that. And he was defending it that maybe it's just maybe who knows whether it's just error and all of that type of graphic error. And somebody was asking him, if it's typographic error, why is it that none of the northern states has had the typographic error? It's only states in the south that they mistakenly put names of Fulanese and all of that under. And he was still blabbing and talking. He was just defending the indefensible. I don't know what has happened to most of us, anyways, but it is not surprising to have such kind of people in our midst. It's not surprising to find, most of us, some of the people around, some of us who have sold out, who have allowed themselves to become stooges, and who have allowed themselves to be stupid. The truth about it is that when it comes to issues that have to do fundamental as the issues of freedom, you will always have those who would always be used as enemies against it. And oftentimes, or almost all the times, they always go down with the system of destruction. They are always killed, they're always destroyed, almost all the times. You know, and you can see that in the life of Pharaoh and his men, his magicians, and all of that, and the people, his soldiers and those who were holding Israel from going to the promised land. They always had this issue, and they always had this problem of it's a problem anyways, but to them it's not a problem, it's a problem. It's a problem to the system because they fight to stop it, but always it's also a blessing to the system because it proves that in spite of every fight, the system always thrive. Now let me tell you something about the Fulanization program. Remember, this is Biafra Global Network, and we are looking critically at the Fulanization plan. The Fulanization plan has gone to another level. Now the National Assembly is part of it. They are now playing their own games of distraction. They want to distract Biafrans. They want you to feel like, hey, it is time for us to stand up and face this, and we are facing this as Nigerians would expect us. And of course, it's a part of the distraction program and distraction plan. And how is it a distraction? And get you busy with so much brouhaha about the Nigeria contraption. Since elections are getting close, they are telling you that they are no more part of the government that is destroying the system. They are telling you that they are no more part of the government or the Buhari regime that is, being rejected and not, accepted by the people. They are trying to make you to feel like they are no more part of trusting and endorsing that, so that in the next election also you can also endorse and vote them and say, yes, these men are against injustice, they are against the Buhari's system. They were able to stand to say the truth. They were able to stand to the truth. They came out all out without fear. They were saying Buhari must go. They were standing, they were protesting. They are trying to give you an impression, that's impression, that false impression, that will make you feel like, hey, these people are really okay, these people are standing up now, they're waking up. Yes, we believe that maybe in the next election they will do better for us, and they will stand for the truth and do better for us. They are trying to make you feel like, yes, this time around it's going to be, everybody's waking up, Nigerians are waking up, and the National Assembly of course is also waking up. The National Assembly is waking up to the reality on ground, and waking up on behalf of Nigerians. They want to give you impression it is all political gimmick. Now don't forget that that protest is one of the strategy they are going to use to remove the man from the to cover up the issue of the masked man in Abuja, in that Aso Rock. Remember, his tenure is rounding off. Very soon they are going to move him. They will need to move him, and the strategy to move him is well planned from the beginning of when they brought the masked person to put on the mask. The plan had been put on, the plan had been set. So it is not a strange thing. It's not going to go unawares. It's not going to take anybody them unawares. It is only going to take the gullible ones amongst us, those people who always think that these Fulanese don't really intend to conquer them, or who don't believe that now let me ask you a question for those who are thinking of being one Nigeria, those who are holding strongly to being one Nigeria, those who are always clamoring for one Nigeria. I want to ask you a critical question. Now, there's a program, as Mazi Samonekpa had always analyzed, the issue of the Fulani, Abuja Declaration, which every Fulani indigene and all the Islamic states in Africa have endorsed, and the Arabic states in the Middle East and all of that. They have all endorsed it. It is part of their program. It is part of their plan. As Mazin Namdekano always tell us, I don't know, most of us have forgotten that he told us that Fulani has over $20 billion, as war chests, for to fight and to install Fulanization. Remember yesterday also, Mazin Samanekba also 2 days ago was able to prove that point. Now, Nigeria gave 21 billion to that program. Now, let me ask you a question. Where is the money going? As Mazi Samanekba asked, where is the money going? Do you see any development? 21 billion naira can do lots of things. Not only Nigeria gave that, other Fulani contraption also gave that. Other Fulani nations, all the Arab nations. Nigeria gave 21 billion. You can imagine what Saudi Arabia has given. You can imagine what Iran has given. You can imagine what Iraq has given. You can imagine what every other Islamic state have given. You can imagine what Morocco and Egypt and all of that have given. Those ones have given more than, which means that if you want to talk about Islamization program, global Islamization program, you are looking at funds over almost $200 billion. I am telling you, if Nigeria alone can give 21 billion, then you can imagine what other people like Saudi Arabia will give. They will give triple of that. So we are talking about over 200 billion now. Now, what is that money meant for? Now, let me tell you something that you don't know about Fulanization. Fulanization is strategic, very complex. It's a very complex network system. They have the fighters. That those ones use the concept of takia. Those are their fighters. Those all these ones you see, all these Boko Haram and all of that are their fighters. In their political state, wherever they are, they sit as if nothing is wrong. They tell you that they are peaceful, they are loving. They want to tell you that Islam is not, a terrorist organization or religion. They tell you that it's peaceful, and they make you feel like everything is peaceful when it comes to Islam. But they have the arm of the people whom they are funding to force and enforce Islam. If you read the Quran, you will know that this is real. It's very, very real in the Quran. You know, there's the concept of from the system, the concept the concept of conquest has been consistent from the days of Muhammad to the time that we are in. They have been fighting. They have their foot soldiers. They have those who sit down, you know, whose job it is to sit down and analyze, and plan, do the programs. Those ones are not the foot soldiers. They are not the fighters. They have those who bring the monies, like the governments, those ones who are sitting in government positions. They have those ones are the ones who bring the monies. Then they have those people who are strategically planning for them. Part of those who plan for them are even people that they want to conquer. For instance, in the Nigeria system, there are some people in the west, in the southwest. There are some people in the southeast. Southeast or the Biafra land. That all those areas are called the eastern region. There's nothing like south south. We don't have any division amongst us. It's just a strategy for conquering, strategy of manipulating, and strategy of holding, and destroying things and getting the people to be divided, so that one will say, "Hey, I'm the one in charge of." When you give people power, they always want to hold it on. They don't care about. They lose their minds. They don't care about any other thing. That is why you can see somebody like Wike, and he doesn't want to hear anything like Biafra because he wants to maintain that his region that have been given to him by the cabal, called River State. As long as it has been divided, and now they call it River State. Even if it has to, even though it's part of Biafra land, they tell it's River State. As long as he wants to maintain control of that cabal, that I'm sorry, that system, that structure, called River State, like Hope Uzodinma too, having Imo State, and Soludo having Anambra State, and all of that. All of them having these states, because they are rebels, and they are sellouts. They are, they are betrayers. They are stooges to this caliphate and to the British program. They want to hold to those states because they love power. If they believe that once this thing goes out of them, if they don't hold it in their tenure, they are not going to enjoy the benefits of power. So they hold on to it in my time. Let's not talk about Biafra. You can talk about Biafra after my tenure is gone, after my 8 years. But in other aspects, let's not talk about Biafra now. So they want to hold on to it because when you give people, especially greedy people, power, they hold on to it. That is what these Fulanis and their colleagues in the Arab nations are doing. They use the Fulanis to look for people. It has always been like that in the system of conquest. They look for those whom they are going to conquer. They look for those they are going to, they look for those who are going to stand against their people. Who are going to be their middlemen to getting their people conquered. When the British came into the system, they did the same thing. They looked for people within us who conquered us. Remember the story of the Ghanaians who were used to conquer the rest of West Africa. They were recruited, they were promised everything good thing they wanted, and then they were recruited, and then they were used to disrupt the system. The same way also, right now, as they are doing, the monies that they have contributed over $200 billion to conquer the world, especially Africa, making Africa in line with what they have done in Asia, what they have done in Turkey, what they have done in Egypt, what they have done in other places, Islamizing those places, using Islam as a means of holding those places down, and using it as a form of holding, holding strong the territories and making them a cabal for the Islamic world. They also want to use the Fulanis in Africa to conquer, especially the West African aspect of it, because they know that the wealth of Africa is very, very important, very, very key and fundamental to their advancement and all of that. So they begin to search for people within us. These people are represented well in the system, in the structure. When they divide and rule, they set these people to govern one aspect the vision and the other. We have those ones who are the governors. We have those ones who are um, presidents. We have those ones who are, maybe House of Reps, House of Representatives, members, and all of that. And they are all there. They are all in the line, the chain. So now, these are the people in the administrative angle of the Fulanization program. Their own is to make sure that in the helm of holding power, in the helm of affairs, they make sure that the system or the strategy of the Fulanization continues, or the Islamization continues. So those ones are going to actually use their position to extract the resources of that nation, of that division they have given to them from each of those nations, to raise resources, to raise the funds for this fight, to make sure that they conquer. And so that is why you see that people like Hope Uzodimma and Co. are actually strong stooges in this regard, to raise funds and to continue to make sure that they have access to the oil to keep the things going, so that they can have the resources they need to continue the agenda. Then they have those people who are in charge of the system. These are the Arab countries. The Arab countries are actually the people in charge of this. They are the ones strongly and wanting this to happen, because the Fulanis are actually under them, and the Fulanis are only going by the programs of these people. So all they do is obey the instructions and go by the dictates of these people, and see that they make sure that everything they do is according to plan and according to program. Then they have the foot soldiers. They have those ones. Before the foot soldiers, they have those who are in charge of their militias. They have the people who are in charge of the militias. Remember, the funds is coming from both the people, the owners of the from Saudi Arabia and all of that. Those who are the owners of Islam. Those ones who are strongly the leaders in Islam. Globally, the funds come from there, the control comes from there, the instruction comes from there, and then they come to the next level of those who are the administrative or the management team. Maybe we call, let's just group it in the idea of a company. They have the board of directors, which has to do with the Islamic nations that are strongly globally strong, and they are in charge globally. They are the ones in control. And then we have the management team, which has to do with the executives. Those people who are governors, presidents of nations, and House of Rep members, House of Representative members, and who are strongly in control of territories. They use those people. They are not, those people must not be they must not be Islamic. They must not be Muslims, but they must be subjects to the Islamic people. They have two sides of it. They have those who they believe in, who are the Fulanis, whom they believe strongly in, whom they rely on, and who are, of course, strongly of the management team, the first class of the management team. So these Fulanis are in charge. Now they have those who are under them, under the Fulanis, and those ones are from the south, or from the people who are to be conquered. Those ones are the rebels, the sellouts, those ones who are being used to truncate the will of the people in that region. So like Hope Uzodimma, Wike, and Co. All of them, all these governors who are responding and who are refusing for us to have our freedom. Okay, welcome back. And then we have those who are the second management team, who are the governors from the south, and those ones who are selling their people. Then we have um, the um, the the militias, the militia heads, those who are in charge of the militias, who are like somebody like Audu Aliru, somebody like all these guys who are actually standing strong, leading each team. The Boko Haram leader, the Al Shabaab leader, the Ansaru leader, the all the terrorist organizations, the leaders of each of these terrorist groups, these militias. These are the people who actually carry out the aspect of it that is radical, The other aspect, they make it look like, hey, we are not. We just want you to be part of us. We just want. We mean well for you. Islam is not, a religion of terror. It's a religion of peace. Then they have the militias. That is where the $20 billion is going. The $21 billion from Nigeria, the other millions of billions of dollars coming from other nations, which of course we know that if you calculate it, you discover that they have over $200 billion to Islamize Africa. That is why you see that according to the Abuja Declaration of 1989, which was ratified also strongly in the year 1991, there are offices. Every country, every region, everywhere you go, they have their offices. They have put offices that will further the program, offices that will run the program, the administrative program of these jihadists and these fighters in every state. So that is where they pay, they disburse funds to all the militias. That is where they hire helicopters, they buy, helicopters, they buy jet fighters, they buy armories and all of that. That is where the funds go to be useful for the groundwork, for the field work. That is why you see that Boko Haram and all those people are not finding it hard to get ammunition and being funded. Food, fuel, everything they need, they get it. Can you just imagine? Ask yourself a question. How do these people get fuel, for instance, for their vehicles? Have you ever seen them come out to buy fuel anywhere? Have you ever seen, because you can imagine the number of vehicles they have in each of their camps, the number of bikes, the number of ammo tanks, the number of trucks. Yet you don't see any of them coming out to buy fuel from. These are people who should be in hiding, who are not supposed to have access to any private supplies. So normally, what they should do is come out to the public to buy from filling stations or fuel stations. But you don't see them, which means that they have a well orchestrated program and plan on how their system is fueled. You'll be surprised that there is a pipe leading to their camps where they receive fueling. They have a machine that fuels all their vehicles. You'll be surprised. It is a powerful network. That is why they talk about Ruga. That's why they talk about all these things. Because in that Ruga, for instance, that hectare of land they take, they have every facility in that land. They have the military base, they have their military base, they have their militia base, working with their military, which is of course the same. The military is the guys, the aspect of to disguise as if they are state agents, so that people don't, when they come out, people don't, people don't, people are deceived, So those ones are the, and then they have the militia team. They have their banks where funds are. They receive funds. They have their supplies, food supplies. So when trucks and food and armories are going in, nobody will say anything. That is how it works. So you must understand now that they have come to the next stage, the elections are coming. They know that we are not taking it lightly. They know that we are ready. Of course, the plan is as soon as the dead Buhari is through, they are going to, with his tenure, because his tenure is still running. So somebody is standing in his place, using his face as the, the administration, or yes, let me say the administration now, using his face as the administration, so that they will continue their tenure and continue of course, their program. Remember, you hear of this terrorists telling you that they are actually killing normal average citizens, or the citizens of each community they go into, because they are angry with the government. Now, ask yourself, how does that make sense to any meaningful reasoning? How does that make sense? That you are killing me because somebody else has offended you. If somebody else has offended you, what did you do with the person? And what's my business with the person? So you can see that every of their program and everything they say actually contradicts. Everything they do contradicts. Every activity they do contradicts. Now they have gotten to the next level. Now the National Assembly now is a two. They're now going to pretend as if they are against the president. They want him, impeached. They're against the system. They want the structure to go down. They want everything to go down. All these are part of the program. Don't be deceived. They have gotten to another level of the program. They want to deceive you so that you don't get busy, so that you are taken unawares. The plan for the attack is strong and it's real. They are going to be attacking, and they have set the template for it. They have set the template and they are coming. But we know we are very formidable, we are strong, we are set, and we are prepared. Thank God for Mazin Namdekano and thank God for the spokesperson of Biafra, Mazin Simon Ekpa. This man has done a lot to raise the hands of Mazin Namdekano. He is doing great things. He has done a lot to raise the hand of Mazin Namdekano. And he's doing a lot. And thank God for him because he has been able to bring and unite the force and unite the system and unite the people. Now, I want you to understand that the political shenanigans and political system, the structure and everything that is going on is just a mere distraction. You shouldn't get yourself distracted about distance. Now, we hear, some of us, I hear some people talking about the United States being part of coming and the United Nations and all of that. Now, I want you to understand something. There's no way these people will help you to get independence, or these people will come to fight on your behalf, or these people will say anything to help you to succeed. They are not there for you to succeed. They are only there for their interest. Remember when Jonathan was in power, as I said in the part one of this, Michelle Obama, Obama himself, they were all coming out at that point because they know that the system then was outside the plan of the global conspiracy. Jonathan being there is outside the plan. Jonathan continuing being there is against the will of these people because they know that when a Southerner is there, it will with time jeopardize their ability to do what they are doing and to have control of this region. We look to them, we are like their stooges. To them we are like their business community, you know, where they get what they want to get and make their businesses and get their resources and get what they want to get at will and how they get it. So why Michelle Obama and all of that, they use the issue of Chibok to create a huge propaganda is because they need a Southerner to live there so that the Fulanis can return. The Fulanis are easier to control. The Fulanis are easier to, you know, to trust. So they wanted the Fulanis to return to that power. That's why you see that. Check the difference. In spite of the atrocities of this Buhari design government, you know, Buhari name government that is using the name of Buhari to rule, in spite of the atrocities and the things that are happening, no member of the United States government have come to speak against it. No member of the United States government, even Obama himself, that has been there clamoring for, you know, talking against Jonathan, talking against the system, talking against what happened, talking against Chibok. Of course, you see that yesterday they told you that about two girls of the Chibok have been seen. They were seen, maybe they were abandoned, you know, or they were just thrown out so that they can go. You know, when they are tired with some and they are tired with the girls and all of that, they throw them away, and then the military will now go and pick them and say, we discovered, either we rescued or we discovered. So now they are telling you now that they have seen two girls and they have taken them to the hospital. Now, Obama and his wife, has not come out to say anything in spite of the killings, in spite of the evil, in spite of different schools, not only Chibok school now. Now we're having different schools in that region in the north that are being, you know, your people being kidnapped, hundreds, including Christian schools, including, everywhere things are happening. Schools, people are being kidnapped. In fact, in Abuja right now, of course, you all know that the schools are closing because they are saying they are afraid of their lives. Lots of things are happening. So these things are going on. But yet, Obama has not said anything. His wife that carried placard for Chibok because Jonathan was there. Don't it tell you something? And you want them to come and fight for you and help you and proclaim Biafra? No, they can't do that. They can't do that. You will have to carry your cross. And that's why we are doing. That's what we're doing. That's why we are doing what we're doing. And that is what we're doing. All you need to do as a Biafra, all they do is gossip. They come to social media. They want to talk about Simon Ekpa. Simon Ekpa. They want to talk about. They just all they do is gossip. Go to social media. You'll see that the freedom fighting that most of them are doing is Simon Ekpa. Is the autopilot plan and program. Now I want to let you know something about the autopilot mission. The autopilot mission is actually another stage. It is not a structure of its own. It is another stage of the plan to restore Biafra. That is what autopilot means. another stage, which was first proclaimed by our leader and which the spokesperson of Biafra is implementing. The spirit is one. So it is another stage of the operation, not another movement, not another group. Not so when you hear the autopilot movement, just understand that we are talking about another stage of the program for redemption. Now, in Abuja, some of the men of the president, some of the guards of the president were killed, and they have been shielding it. They were killed like chicken. I don't know whether most of you have seen the video. I don't know whether you've seen the video. Their parts. They were picking their parts, their body parts, putting into nylon, a pink colored nylon, picking people's parts, body parts. It was a horrible scene. But of course, those people who were killed definitely are people who still believe in one Nigeria. We are calling on those people who are still in the Nigerian military, who are from the south, to get out of that system because the time is near. We are drawing close to our redemption and freedom. And don't become a stooge. Don't become, you know, don't become their victim. We're also calling those ones who are in the north who claim to be one Nigeria, who believe in one Nigeria, who are there, say they love the Northerners. We should live one. We should be united. We should live together as brothers and sisters. That is the essence of humanity. If your stupidity doesn't kill you, then you know that definitely your stupidity will render you put you in a serious situation. We are telling you now, right now, to leave because whatever you think about, you are just thinking about on your own. Now, I want to make you understand something that the way we think as Southerners, the way we think as Biafrans, it's not the same way Fulanis think. 99% of Fulanis are crude. That is why they don't allow them to go to school so that they would not